Now, for those that don't comprehend that, Yah is dual because Yah has recorded his name in a physical, literal place, right? And Yah has recorded his name in a spiritual place. How about that? So if we go to Numbers 6 and 27, we'll see that. So let's flip over to Numbers 6 and 27, right? So and they shall put my name. Let's back up for a minute. Start 22. Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aharon and his sons, saying, on this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. There goes that peace again. And they shall put my name upon the children of Yasharal, and I will bless them. See that? So the Most High put his name on the children of Yasharal. So you got, when you're obeying Yah and walking in obedience to Yah, his name is on you, right? That goes back to Revelation, talks about, I will write my name in their foreheads. How is the name written in your forehead? When he finds people that's walking in the covenant, his name is written in your forehead. When you're not walking in the covenant, his name is not in your forehead. Somebody else's name in your forehead. All right. So that's number 627, right? All right. So we're going to pass through that. So I have a bunch of verses that we're going to go through, but we'll recap next Shabbat. So we'll kind of cover what we didn't cover today, preferably Yah's will. All right. So now I want to get over into the meat and bring some simplicity to it, and then we're going to close it down for today. All right. So the meat offering is Strong's number 4503, minka, which means a portion that is to bestow a donation, euphemistically tribute, specifically a sacrificial offering. It says usually bloodless and voluntary. It's not usually, it's always bloodless, right? Can't get blood out of a turnip. All right. So, and how do we know is a bloodless sacrifice? Because we look at the Tanakh and we'll see Leviticus 2 and 1. Let's go there real quick. Leviticus 2 and 1. All right. So I'm kind of, I guess this will be a precursor. So people say, well, brother, why are you going fast? So we're going to take our time next Shabbat. We're going to amplify it right now. Get your appetite wet. All right. So I know we cover a lot in this 3-hour session, so I don't want to overbear you. So I'm going to kind of try to move a little bit and try to get some things in, get your mind going, get your appetite wet, and so forth. So Leviticus 2 and verse 1. This is the law of grain offerings. It's called grain offerings. How about that? Look at the heading. The law of grain offerings. When any will offer a meat, there it is, a meat offering. What's the meat again? Minka, right? Unto Yah, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it and put frankincense thereon, right? So that meat offering is an offering of grain. So when you say meat offering, you're not talking about a blood sacrifice. So now it gives a whole new meaning of meat and drink, right? But the kingdom is not meat and drink. So now that has a new meaning, right? The kingdom is not meat and drink, but righteousness, peace, and joy in the Ruach. So we see meat, right? And we see peace offerings, right? We saw that earlier. We read that. So we got the burnt offering out the way. We ought to have full total clarity about the total consumption of flesh being out the way. Now we're dealing with what? We're dealing with the meat offering, which is what? It is living for Yah while you still have human flesh. So the analogy is you want to remember that you want that flesh totally consumed, but now I got to realize that I'm alive, but yet I got to live for Yah and not live to the flesh. If I live to the flesh, I'm going to die. But if I through the spirit do mortify, if I through the burnt offering mortify the deed of the flesh, then I shall live. I shall have everything that Yah promised me. Why? Because I have mortified the flesh, and now I have presented my body, right? Romans 12. All right, let's go there real quick. Romans 12, right? All right, Romans 12. He says, I beseech thee therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, right? That is the meat offering. You present your body a living sacrifice, right? Kodesh, acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. How do you present your body? He's going to tell you the next verse. Don't be conformed to the world. What's in the world? The lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, pride of life. So that of the father was of the world, right? So when you comprehend that, now you comprehend that now I'm not going to be conformed to the world, but I'm going to be transferred by the renewing of my mind, right? Why? That I might prove what is good, acceptable, and perfect will of Yah, right? If Yah wants to bless you to have things, he want to bless you to have a house on a hill with 15 grandkids or 10 children or whatever it is you desire, Yah wants you to have it, right? But he wants you to present your body a sacrifice and be a righteous kingdom of priests so that you can have the desires of your heart. That's what Shaul said. You delight yourself. Is that Shaul said? I think he said, delight yourself in Yah and he will give you the what? Desires of your heart. Whatever you desire. Walk righteous and expect it, right? You want a private jet. It's kind of late in the game for me. But hey, nothing's impossible. If you want a cruise line, you want your old yacht, whatever. If your ways please Yah, right, he'll make your enemies your footstool, and Yah will touch the heart of the king, and the king might just give you a Yah. How about that? Or sell it to you, and you get a steal deal. Yah don't want you to go lacking, brothers and sisters. This is not religion, right? This is a way of life. We hear Hebrews say that all the time. It's not a religion, it's a way of life. Yeah, but the way you live, I don't want to live. That's not my desire. My desire is to have the things that I desire in life in righteousness. Right? Okay? Whatever it is that you want. You don't have to live beneath your dreams and your aspirations because you a covenant keeper. Whatever you desire, Yah will give you your heart's desire. You don't have to settle for less, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? Religion wants you to settle, think you got to be poor, broken, disgusted. No, I'm not saying that everybody in Israel is going to be rich and wealthy. But if you desire nice things and you want things, then believe that Yah wants you to have what you desire in righteousness, right? Can't say that enough, right? So Romans 12:1, also 1 Corinthians 9:27, right? 1 Corinthians 9:27. Let's go there real quick. All right. 1 Corinthians 9:27. It's almost 3:30. I'm moving along. Let's read verse 26. It says, let's read 25. We read this before, but and every man that striveth for masteries is temperate in all things. See that? Every man that strives for masteries, this is what I was just saying. Every man that strives for masteries is temperate in all things. Now they do it not to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainty, so fight I not as one that beateth the air, but here's the kicker. I keep my body and bring it under subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Right? So that's bringing that body under subjection, right? Now, so the meat offering is a grain offering, which is like a bread offering, right? And I'm not gonna go step by step in each one, because one of the offerings of meat offerings was like making a cake. Got Hebrews think it's a sin to make a cake. Need I show you that? Let me show you that real quick. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find it real quick. All right. Let's go to Leviticus 2:4. All right. See what happens is when you taught religion, then you discredit the scriptures. You don't know how to read the scriptures because you this is where our camp teaches. That's the problem. You follow the camp teaching. You're not following the word of Yah. When you follow the word of Yah, you can check anybody. If they're not coming out the word of Yah, you can say, brother, that's not the word of Yah. I don't say that. Where does it say it? I'm showing to you where it says it, and you know what I'm saying is not my words, is what the word of Yah says. Now, you can twist and say it don't mean that. That's up to you. Do whatever you want to do with it. But the word is going to say the same thing every time you read it. Now, one of our beloved brothers that passed on used to say, Yahshua's right all the time. Everybody else can be wrong, but Yahshua's the only one that's right all the time. All right. Now, Leviticus, that's our beloved brother Yeshay. May he rest in peace. All right. Leviticus 2 and let's just read it down. I read 2 and 1. I think I read 2 and 1. Let's just read it down. Verse 2. He shall bring unto Aharon the priest, and he shall take thereof his handful of flour thereof, and the oil thereof, and all the frankincense thereof, and the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yah. Okay? Then, and the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aharon's and his sons. It is the thing most kodesh, an offering of Yah made by fire, right? And if thou bring an oblation of meat offering baked in the oven. You know how you make a cake? You bake it in the oven, right? Let's read it. Baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. So that offering, that meat offering, is a cake. Well, it's not the same as a birthday cake. I didn't say it was a birthday cake. Okay. I'm not going to do that. We'll talk about that at another time. Somebody said, well, is it okay for a person to make a birthday cake? That's up to you. Does y'all say you can't have a birthday cake? You're making a cake to other deities. That's a whole nother ball game. But you want to make a cake for yourself? We make cornbread. That's a cake. That's basically what this is here. Okay, unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil. Right. And then if the oblation, now he calls that meat offering an oblation, be a meat offering baked in a pan, it shall be a fine flour unleavened mingled with oil, right? Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering, right? So we see this meat offering also, verse 7. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in a frying pan, how about that? What's the word for frying pan? A stew pan. Remember the old mothers back in the day used to make cornbread in a frying pan? They write in the book. They got that out of the book. It shall be made of fine flour with oil, right? What's the fine flour? This is strip flour as chipped off. How about that? The best flour. Okay. Thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto Yah, and when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it into the altar, right? The priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yah. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aharon. They're going to go at the table and they're going to lamb out. They're going to take that cornbread. They're going to put some butter on that cornbread. They got the oil, right? Get them lamb chops out there. They nice and tender, and they season them just right. They're going to make their own gravy. Oh, man. Then they're going to take some macaroni and cheese and top it off. And get some greens out the yard, right? And pour some of that juice from the lamb that it kind of submerge in them collard greens. They gonna have them. The priest gonna have them a meal. That's what they was doing. They was eating. Somebody said the priest was fat. They would doing so much eating this stuff. They was getting fat. I don't know about that. I wasn't there during those days, but I can imagine he probably was, right? All right. So that they're gonna make that cornbread. This not cornmeal though. I guess it could be. It's a grain, right? It could be flour. But cornmeal is made from corn grain, right? Okay. All right. Let me get back. So that's what he said. So that's Leviticus 2. And now, what I wanted to do was, I want to show you a contrast because the meat offering was not supposed to be made with unleavened bread. It's not to be made with unleavened bread, but let's read something in Leviticus. We're going to see something here. It's going to show you something. Then we're going to close with this because I got a whole lot more. I'm not going to try to force it and push it. I just want to get your appetite wet, right? Leviticus 23:17. One of the feasts of Yah, the verse, the chapter, the feast of Yah, right? Leviticus 23. And we're going to go to let's go down to verse 15, right? Okay, Leviticus 23. You're gonna see something that's really gonna be shocking because we just read, right? The specific meat offering, which is a grain offering, we're gonna see that there's another type of grain offering where you are to offer it with leaven, right? Okay. 23:15, you shall count unto you from the morrow, from the Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheaf of wave offering. All that's significant, right? Which is the wave offering, right? 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Shabbat shall you number 50 days. You shall offer a new meat offering. How about that? Now he gonna explain to you what you're gonna do with this meat offering. But we already read where he said you're not supposed to put leavened bread and meat on. But this particular one here, we're gonna see something that's gonna be a contrast. Watch this now. All right. You shall offer a new meat offering. So what festivity are we up on now? The Feast of Weeks, which is what? The Day of Pentecost, which is called what? The Feast of Fire. Oh my. You shall offer a new meat offering unto Yah. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of tenth deals. What is all of that? 2 waves, bandishing by tumult, official undulation of sacrificial offerings. How about that? So You shall offer a wave of loaves. Loaves, food for a man, be especially bread or grain. How about that? So you